I want you guys to hear this woman. She broke down the history of Erika Kirk, who she is, really well, and I thought it was worth taking a look at. So check this out.
So Charlie Kirk married a woman who was 5 years older than him. Erika Kirk is going to be 37 this fall. They got married in 2021, so unfortunately they didn't have a chance to be married for a very long time, but you can do the math there. She was in her 30s when he married her, and he was still in his 20s. Now, I know to like a normal person, none of this matters, and it shouldn't matter, but I'm going somewhere with this, so like stick with me. Apparently, she double majored in college. She majored in political science and international relations. She played collegiate level basketball.
Majoring in political science and like international relations. That seems like I'm going for a career in politics. If I do those things, I'm going for a career in politics. And I want to be clear. I think people are projecting what they feel about Charlie Kirk and how they would feel in that situation onto Erika Kirk before we continue, because I think this is an important point before we continue. I think the sadness that the people that are like, I see sadness in her eyes, that, and others are like, I don't see the sadness in her eye, myself included. I don't see the sadness. I don't see the grieving. I've seen more pain and heartbreak in Candace Owens' statement than I did in Erika Kirk's. I'm gonna be honest. I think that Erika Kirk did seem like she wanted a career in politics prior to marrying Charlie Kirk.
Basketball. She was Miss Arizona USA and competed for Miss USA. She's worked as an actress, a model, a casting director.
She's worked as an actress, a model, and a casting director. I think working as an actress is interesting for this situation. You worked as an actress. Maybe that's why when we're seeing the videos where, she's like, I forgive him, it don't seem as genuine. It's like, are you acting right now? You know what I'm saying? Check it out. I don't want y'all to just think I'm saying these things. I want y'all to really look at it without projecting your sadness and how you would feel in that situation.
I forgive him. On the cross, our Savior said,
I forgive him. On the cross, our Savior said, bro. And then even when she was smiling, that clip where she was smiling with Trump, I don't have it queued up, but that clip where Trump hugged her and he was like, bro, what the hell? Trump was like, yeah. And she was like, bro, what is that? I'm sorry, what is that? So listen, let's go back to the history of who this woman is, who Erika Kirk is, some of the things that we may or may not know. And I think this woman did a brilliant job breaking it down. So let's go back to her.
She has a Juris Master's degree and doctorate in Christian leadership. Apparently, when she was still in high school, she started a nonprofit, and she's currently the CEO of Proclaim Streetwear and Bible in 365, which I just signed up for. You should.
This woman is already an entrepreneur. She already had, seemingly, from what she majored in college and what she went to get her degrees for, an interest in being in politics and international affairs. She started her own nonprofit, and now she's the CEO of Charlie Kirk's nonprofit, and she's older than Charlie Kirk. She was Miss USA. Or excuse me, she ran for Miss USA. She competed for it. She was Miss Arizona, according to what's being said. All these things point to, I want to be in politics. So maybe that's the lack of sadness, because how could I be sad if this is what I always wanted? Just a perspective. Maybe we could be wrong. But some of these things don't sound like they're too crazy or too far off. Right? I mean, when you hear the full history of who this woman is, you go, okay. Some of you guys may or may not have known all that. So let's go back to the article. This is the press release that was put out. Obviously, when you're a public figure, you have a media team. You have a PR team. So these are press releases that are put out. Mind you, Charlie Kirk hasn't been dead a month. I just think that's important to note. Charlie Kirk got shot 2 weeks ago at this point. Now Erika Kirk is starting to soft launch her political career. And these are things that it seems like she's wanted. I think we could say that because she had her own nonprofit. She had her own businesses. She's an entrepreneur. She had her own political aspirations, according to, what she went to college for and different things like that, allegedly. So, now she's starting to soft launch. Let's see what these things are starting to say. So in this article, the article says Erika Kirk has her own public profile. Erika Kirk, 36 years old, 5 years older than Charlie Kirk, played a prominent role supporting her husband, but she also has had a public profile of her own since winning the Miss Arizona pageant in 2012. Yes, I was his wife, but there was more to it than that. There was more. I'm not just his wife, and I want people to stop saying that. I'm not Charlie Kirk's wife. I'm Erika Kirk.
Your wife is not your servant. Your wife is not your employee. Your wife is not your slave.
Who makes this statement at their husband's
helper.
memorial? Who makes this statement at their husband's memorial? I was not your helper. I'm not your employee. I'm not your servant. I'm not your slave. I'm your helper. I was supposed to get a position. And from what has been said is that Charlie Kirk's wife, I guess allegedly, and I'm only saying allegedly just to cover myself. Charlie Kirk's wife, I guess, met Charlie Kirk through trying to get hired at Turning Point USA.
Should sign up for too. It's reading the Bible in a year. Now, I don't know about you, but when I look at that resume, it actually seems bigger and more accomplished than your average woman. And in fact, the story goes that when Charlie met her, he was considering her for a position at Turning Point, but he was so taken with her that he basically said, I can't hire you because I want to date you. But he was considering hiring her, this woman. So all of this to say that all of these people who are trying to paint Charlie Kirk as some kind of backwards Neanderthal who believes that women are incompetent and can only stay home and raise babies and make babies, which is the most important job in the world, by the way, and that they need to be these mousy creatures under the boots of their husbands. Well, not only does that not coincide with the words that actually came out of his mouth, but it also doesn't coincide with the way that he seemed to have lived his life and the woman that he chose to make a wife.
Valid points. All valid points. All valid points. I think I would take it a step further and say it's interesting that the person that benefits the most, just being honest, the person that benefits the most from his death is his wife. I don't know what that means. Y'all pull your own meaning from that. I'm not saying it means anything, but it seems to be a fact.